as you know, I'm okay with late people because even though they don't have the sense to be on time. Rude. Sorry, that's very unprofessional. We'll edit this out. And we'll get started when the door is closed because noise. Bye, Carlos! So that was Carlos. He'll be joining us on stage in a little bit. So thank you guys for being here, and thank you for not making me use microphones because there's only a couple of you know to yell. Even though, as you guys learned yesterday, I'm still pretty yelly. Haven't gotten one of those reviews in yet. Like, please be less yelly. Hi. Oh, okay, bye. So, brief introductions. My name is Amanda. AichiYume is my anime name because reasons. I am a blogger, social media manager, and just generalized fan person and biological female human who's mostly made up of sarcasm and cake, but also some human parts. I want to go over a couple of things because, especially in a panel like this, even though we're all ladies, and I'm fine with that, I have to definitely preface this. When there are guys here, he's feminist, he's fine. When there are, you know, the kind of like neck and beardy guys here, I respect women, it's okay if I touch them on the rear. Like those two phrases.
It's a compliment.
Yeah, it's a compliment when I press up against them in the elevators. So, these opinions are my own. I went to a school, one that doesn't disappear at night. I don't throw around the word feminist lightly because, again, I went to a school that doesn't disappear in the night. So when I use words like feminist, male gaze, things like that, it's coming from a place of academia and not just to make anyone feel bad. So if I say male gaze is a problem, it's not just because I'm a YouTube edgelord. It's because I know what male gaze is, and I know that it's a neutral term, and so you'll find me into it. Cool? Yay. Also, opinions are my own, but this is essentially just a girls' powwow on how to be better women and how to make men suffer. So, fine with that. Because that's exactly what feminism is. It's just girls sitting in a room and figuring out ways to make men uncomfortable, as the internet will probably have fun with me saying. This topic is interesting because usually I do very open-ended writing panels because to me it's not so much an issue always of writing male or female characters, it's just writing characters. When I do my characterization panels, it's usually both genders are covered. I started by doing men's roles, and then I actually had a lot of trouble doing a women's roles one, just because being an anime fan for 20 years, misogyny sort of sets in when you have nothing but useless female characters to look to. So this topic actually was started by a little conversation that I have on DeviantArt. Yes, DeviantArt is occasionally good for things. But someone in a writing room that I used to moderate for asked, well, how do I write female characters? And this was the answer that I gave them. So I'll let you very briefly read that. The moral of the story is the idea that writing a female character is this, you know, Wonder Woman sort of task that you find the purest piece of clay and you sculpt them to a point of absolute perfection and an absolute lack of personality is frustrating, annoying, and I'm sick of it. So the whole idea, how do I write a woman doing this? You write this sentence and you add she. One of the most interesting moments I had was a moment during ACON, and it was going over some of the female roles, and it's like, if there's a fire in this room, there's no how would the woman respond. I'm running just as fast as any of the boys and likely telling all of you off for letting a fire break out. There's no how does the woman react in danger, it's how does this individual. And if that individual happens to be a woman, pieces. Cool? Also, good time to bring up, as these lovely ladies in the front know, I'm cool with questions, stop me, comment. This is definitely going to be more of like an informal dialogue. I don't even have like as many microphones as I'm used to. So, cool? Awesome. I want to help you guys be more attentive readers. I used this a lot yesterday also, just being more critical of the media. we are in a time that everything is trying to push an agenda somewhere. It's important to be critical of the media that you're looking at. So just because a show says it's feminist often doesn't mean that it is. And just because a show has strong female characters doesn't always mean that they are. So I want you guys to be more attentive readers, better writers, whatever you do, better human beings. Really, if you take any of these messages into your day-to-day life, please let me know, and I'll feel very, very good about that. That's what we're here to do. That's what I hope you do. If any of you leave with any opinions, even if that opinion is that one short black lady's meme, down with that. I've had a couple panels like that, like, I've learned nothing. Okay, fair. As ladies, can we not empathize with this?
That picture is a lifestyle.
This whole idea that women must be a certain thing, that they have to fit in a neat little box, and the amazing thing about this, and actually I love that I have an all-female room right now, women aren't necessarily better at writing women. Like, that's a really, like, gross, like, assumption, that just because I'm biologically female means that I write great female characters. My female characters are consistently the weakest, because I'm used to a media culture that favors strong male leads and treats women like sexual doormats. So I took those into my writing, and now I make sexual doormats, and I hate that. So just imagine your female characters completely.
And the thing to do is write an entire storyline and then take out every female character and switch it with the male character.
And if it still stands out.
Oh no, no, you just switch it and that's what you send in.
Yeah. No, it's really, really weird, because, like, I've actually noticed this. If I have any scenes that are, like, both male and female, I overwhelmingly give lines to male characters. And I don't know why. It's not like the females aren't important. It's not like they're not doing anything. They wouldn't be there if they didn't serve a purpose, obviously. But you just get so used to that idea that your woman is here to drive one plot point, and that one plot point is your main character's sex drive, that you forget to do this yourself. And even then, as a consumer of media, when female characters do things that are not ladylike, which is a word I hate, or atypical.
The only part I like about ladylike is the vlog.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I wish they'd pay staff and bring her back, but, you know.
She left for personal reasons.
Yeah, they didn't give her credit for anything that she did. Patriarchy. Questions, comments, concerns? Don't be scared. I know after 20 plus years of anime misogyny, I was pretty afraid of female characters. I've been beaten down by generation upon generation of Torus and Kagomes and other useless, bland, wet paper towel characters. I mean, honestly, comics are better sometimes. Most comic book characters have the problem of, depending on who's writing them, they're great or not. Like, Catwoman is great right now. Probably wasn't this time 10 years ago. Just gonna say it. Not saying that she's not a good character. Just saying, took us a while to find a voice for Selena Kyle that made sense and wasn't virgin or poor. So, just don't be scared. It's gonna be okay. And even when you see these things in other female characters, just pause for a minute before you judge. And that's a huge point for me. It's like, that woman isn't. Wait a minute. There is no one way to be a human person on this earth. Reserve judgment. How many times have you read a series or watched a thing and you have seen an immediate de-escalation of tension between the threat that the male faces and the threat that the female faces? And it's frustrating. Are there things that biologically females have a more difficult time of doing than males? Yes. Does that mean that you need to immediately suck all of the tension out of the scene because there is a lady present? No. If anything, give them more attention and provide them with more things to do. And then that helps build more genuine and better character arcs. Otherwise, you're left with wet blanket characters who don't know how to do anything. A very frustrating example of this is Otahime for me in Bleach, if you've seen that one, where Aizen admits this is probably one of the strongest characters in, like, this universe. This is an intensely strong character. you choose not to use your power because you're afraid that you will emasculate Ichigo. And that's frustrating. So frustrating.
Do that to yourself.
Don't do that to yourself, man. Yeah, IRL. So even though I banished Carlos outside, he is my friend for 7 years. TJ's been my friend for 13 years. This idea that women have to pair off frustrates me so much. I have so many platonic guy friends that I am not seeking anything out of. But the idea that, oh, well, if there's a male and a female, you guys have to, like, be together, right? Guardians of the Galaxy is an interesting case in that, where you have a lot of people where we're into, like, the second movie. Well, why haven't Gamora and Star-Lord smashed privates? I'm sorry, has Peter Quill said a coherent sentence yet? He's done nothing to earn this woman's respect, and a woman is not a prize. You do not get a woman at the end of the movie. She is not a breath mint that you get at the end of dinner. Too real for you?
I like that.
Too real?
No, I'm quoting it, using it.
It's true, but like,
Yeah.
women are not something that you get at the end of a movie for existing and having a penis. You don't. I love them as platonic friends, and if they do smash later, I mean, that's going to be awesome, because Zoe Saldana. It's going to be great when it finally happens, but like, he's done nothing to earn her. She definitely probably couldn't handle being in a relationship that isn't continuing to yell at her cyborg sister. Platonic friendships. Let them happen.
Real.
Just violent screeching. No, like, I've had this a lot. Like, I'll room with my guy friends for con, and I get people all the time. That is salacious. What are you doing? How can you be in the same room as these men? I know. How are they so not overwhelmed with lust for this body?
I remember being 8 years old, having a sleepover birthday party, and I invited boys over, and there were actual parents that saw the boys show up. They're like, "Oh, they're leaving at a certain time, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, in the morning."
Yeah, like when their parents go get them.
Because we're fucking 8 years old.
Yeah, and like if that, like, I hate that, like, that's the assumption, but it's like,
6
yeah.
girls were made by their parents to leave, and they're like, "I don't understand why I'm leaving. We play with him at school. Why are we leaving?"
Right. No, I mean, like, I'll say it, I'm pushing 30, and I still get like, how do you let men room with you? I know, right? I am such a catch. How are they not just dripping off of? We're playing Soul Calibur. For God's sake, leave us alone.
We're until 3 a.m. playing Mario Kart. What do you want?
I made a fruit and cheese plate last night, for Christ's sake.
I love it.
I did make a cheese plate.
Yes.
I made a cheese plate and we played Yu-Gi-Oh!
That sounds awesome.
fantastic.
A solid Friday night right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna barbecue after this. And then go swimming. Yeah!
I
You
think
can
they're-
have friends!
I think they're looking for their invitation.
I know, they're like, the Evite will be sent to you. Like, no, these are my friends. No, I don't want to smash them. They don't want to smash me.
The violent handshake.
Disclaimer, gay as fuck, so.
Definitely fine, at least with this one. Carlos is a kid. My virtue is secure. And even if it wasn't, whose place is it for you to judge me?
Exactly. Golly.
My auntie, sweet, loving Catholic woman that she is so scandalized every time. It's like, so the boys have their own room, right? No, man, Carlos is on the sofa right now. He's leaving, right? 27. What are you doing in there? Whatever 50 Shades of Grey nonsense you have in your mind is not what's going on in this room. I will send you a live stream. I'm telling you, we are playing Mario Kart. There is nothing remotely as salacious as you think going on in this room. I promise you that. Friendship is great, and I hate that especially anime is bad about this. Comics are getting bad about it again. They weren't for a while, but are getting bad about it again. That your characters must pair off. And they make women trophies, and I do not like that. It is frustrating. I think this image was the Christmas card that I gave, not the birthday card that I gave to Carlos, because I would sell you to Satan for one coin chip.
Have you seen the series of those photos?
Yes. I just love it. They sell them actually in La Vita. You can get them as cards and postcards. So I sent him this one for his birthday, and he's like, fair. Fair assessment. Yeah, probably same.
Probably same.
You can ask him outside.
I love it.
That he'd probably sell it for less than one coin chip, let's be honest. He'd probably be like, you can have her. Just open window, throw out window. He's threatened to leave how many times? And he's still outside guarding the door.
We're on 5 now, and we have another day.
Guys, clothing options. Clothing options.
Love you.
Clothing options! Is this any less of a woman than that?
Oh no.
Do pants mean not a woman? Thank you. We're getting better. We're getting better. But it took us way too long to get here.
Oh
Yeah.
Took us way too long to get here. And frankly, I'm tired.
Well, culturally, you also have to think about where anime is coming from. It's
Yeah.
coming from a society that is very strict gender roles.
Yes, absolutely.
Very
100%.
strict ideals.
And
So I think that's why it's taking so long,
Sure.
because that American influence is kind of being like, hey, women can wear pants.
right. Well, and I'll push back. Comic books.
Yeah.
Like, I harp on anime because anime is my thing, obviously. Anime is the thing, but comic books, y'all. What is Black Widow wearing? Is it bulletproof? Like,
Unconfirmed.
I mean, she shows a lot of titty. If she gets shot anywhere from here, she's like mega dead. I mean, it's almost comedic at this point, because again, is there a wrong way to be a biological woman on this planet or in this cosmos?
And I mean, you also have entire characters that are set up just to be an archetype, like Power Girl. For I don't even know how long, there were issues of that comic that came out, and they were purposely just making her breasts bigger and bigger, waiting to see when somebody would say something.
Yeah.
And it just got, like, this woman doesn't wear pants anyway. She wears a white leotard with a giant hole in the middle. The hole in the middle story breaks my heart, but that's for another time. And, like, they just made her boobs bigger and bigger and bigger, and nobody said anything for, like, 60 issues until, like, her boobs literally were at her belly button when somebody said something.
Right. No, and actually, Wonder Woman's original weakness. If you don't know that story, I'll tell it. So Wonder Woman is a hero created out of polyamory and bondage. Fun fact, if you don't know that, not lying. But her original... So, her original weakness was she could not be bound by a man. So if a man tied her up, oh, I'm done. I mean, yeah, it was the 40s, 30s. Yeah, it was a different time. They kept that, I think, honestly, until like the 80s or the 90s.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was Wonder Woman, so no one really defeated her. But yeah, I love that comics like, yeah, we're progressive.
Barely.
Thank you for being progressive starting 5 years ago. Much appreciated. Lots of progress you've made in 5 years. Doesn't make up for the 80 or so, the 70 of nonsense. And yes, you bring up a great point. It is always interesting to critique anime from Western ideals of femininity, feminism, and feminist culture. However, you'd be a liar if you say that those things didn't leach into your life. And especially as, I'll say this, as a young, impressionable youth, watching things like Inuyasha, watching things like Naruto, watching things like One Piece, those things absolutely leached into my life. And it's like, yeah, no, if my boyfriend stalks me, it's okay. He's just attentive. If he controls every aspect of my life, it's okay. He still loves me. Inuyasha yells at Kagome all the time. It's fine.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it is difficult to compare based on, French feminism from the 1940s and 50s. But unfortunately, we take our media into our day-to-day existences, so we have to apply the lenses that we would normally use to them. And sure, that makes it more difficult in places, because, man, I think I mentioned this yesterday. that there's a hilarious thing, which we'll get to diversity in a minute. There's hilarious, there was a post on the post that was, anime needs to be more diverse, essentially. It was, there's not enough, like, characters of color in Japanese media. Like, I wonder why there aren't more African Americans in Japanese media. I wonder why. It's like, it's a country that has a 99% like ethnic purity rate on their census. They're not interested in like marketing to me. It's fine. Clothing options, pants are great. Moral of the story, pants are great. So, I don't know what man decided that this was a rule, or what cabal of women decided this was a rule that women can't be friends with women. Amber, how long have we been friends? 8 years? About that? I think so. Yeah. Fun fact. Yeah. Hot take. Women can be friends with women. Obviously. Lovely. But for whatever reason, in media, no one has figured that out yet. The inverse of this is that if you are of the predilection to like female company, oh no, they're just friends. It's like they're literally having sex in front of you.
That was my favorite thing about the 60s, is women would literally move in together and own a home together, but it's assumed women had no sex drive.
Right. It's like, no, they're really good friends.
They're just good friends and they live together and help support each other. I'm like, lesbians.
No, they're just really
Wild concept.
No, they're just super close. They're just great bros. Yeah.
They're just great.
They're just
friends.
really good friends.
They're just great friends. It's like, so yeah, actual inverse of that, which is still a problem, and we'll touch on it a little more, is like women that love other women. It's like, nah, man, they're just really good friends. They get each other. It's like, yeah, it's called they're married. It's called they're married and like have a mortgage.
Have adopted 3 children.
Yeah, and have adopted 3 children that are better than yours. And fun fact, if you know Bleach, they aren't fighting because they're angry. They're fighting to get stronger so they can overthrow the men. Fun fact. Who has seen recent Star Wars? You too. Yes.
I stopped watching Star Wars because the day that Carrie Fisher died was when I went to go see my first Star Wars movie in theaters, and she died at the time my movie started. So I'm
Okay.
I'm done.
Yeah, no,
that's a
fair.
sign.
Yeah, nope, Carrie Fisher.
I killed Carrie Fisher.
Yeah, you did. I'm sorry about that. Yeah. Anyways, we saw Princess Leia go from princess to general, and the internet was so divided on that, but I know most women were like, yeah! I don't understand the idea that to have power as a woman, you must be princess, as if the concept of Marshallnay, Duchess, Queen, General, Doctor, anything does not exist. We're getting better, but again, it took us so long to get here, be frustrating. Wonder Woman has that a little bit occasionally, and I don't necessarily look forward to Justice League, where it's a lot of her screeching on Amazons and maybe condescended to by Jason Momoa. So, I've mentioned my real age. I do not understand this idea that women stop existing around 17, die for a little while, and then come back around 40 when they can be resexualized as MILFs. Do I strike a chord?
It's just too perfect.
I don't know why they die around 16, 17, and then reemerge around 38, 40.
It's like the night before your 18th birthday, you just go into a coma.
Right, and then you wake up again with triple D breasts. No wrinkles at all, though. None.
You've been sleeping for 30
Yeah,
years.
you've been sleeping for 30 years. So that phase. Right, you've magically had 2 children, but that body is still right. Stretch marks and cellulite are not a thing. Nor is body hair. You have been perfect in stasis for that 30 years, and then you wake up to immediately be resexualized. I'm 27. I have no idea what 27 looks like. My family is so when are you gonna get married and stop doing this weird costume shit? Never!
I mean, me and my husband do the weird costume shit together.
See, that would be my ideal setup.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, just tell me what you want me to be and we'll go pick stuff out.
Even better, he doesn't even know.
He doesn't even care.
Perfect!
He's like, I just don't want strange people hitting on you at cons.
I mean, I can't promise that.
No one can promise that.
But it's like, when do you guys stop doing the weird costume thing? I don't know. When I die or get bored of it? When cons stop booking me, which apparently will be never.
That's pretty.
Do not be afraid of female characters that are older. Do not be afraid of female characters that exist as 20-somethings. I do love that our current American comedy shows, actually, I don't really like Broad City or anything. I think they're a little weird. But, like, love that they're showing, like, that 20-somethings have no idea what we're doing. None.
We're just children with drinking licenses.
Yeah. We're just kids who can legally drink. That's all. And we have way more free time than we should. Like, I'm way more into cosplay than I ever was when I was in high school because I have money and time. So I can buy all the wigs on the internet. So your female characters can age. They can age gracefully. They can get old. They can have weird, gross body stuff because we exist on a planet and eventually we will all rot. Cellulite is real. Truth. Let's have a slightly fun conversation about diversity. So, I love diversity. I don't like when diversity is done in an attempt to sell comic books, which this pairing was at first. They redid it so it's less done to sell comic books and it's actually the healthiest relationship Harley Quinn has ever had. Finally!
That's what we were doing today.
Finally! But diversity for the sake of just saying that you're doing diversity is very frustrating for me. I think you guys heard me rant a little bit about Miss Marvel and everything like that. I'll do it again. Just write good characters, y'all. Like, yes, her background, her history, her identity will all be parts of her, but it should not be who she is. Hi! So, authentic diversity is the greatest thing in the entire world. If you ever have questions, comments, or concerns about that, this is the internet. You likely know a person who lives a lifestyle outside of yours. Even if they don't announce it. Because remember, there's no such thing as lesbianism. Everyone's just really good friends.
Mm-hmm.
Lesbians aren't real, guys. It's all a myth. It's the longest running secret that women have kept for the last, 4,000 years? Yeah. Oh yeah, no, like, if you go back to the poetry of Sappho, who was on the island of Lesbos, who gave us that word, there were still, like, male contemporaries who were like, yeah, we don't know what those women are doing. It's probably nothing. It's probably fine. They're all just, like, talking.
Probably just knitting.
Yeah, it's just a giant sewing circle, really. Like, they're just, like, cooking, like, they're making a lot of cakes over there.
I mean, I think it's
Like, this has been a thing since recorded history. It's like, nah, man, they're just real tight friends. they're just so broed out. Shall I linger on Harley and Ivy kissing a little while longer? Okay, next slide. This is Miss Hungry, if you've never read Natalia. She is great because she has literally pulled pages out of the creator's hand and forced the will of the story to protect the person that she loves. Active is one of the best things you can do for a female character. I made the illusion of Star Wars last time, but apparently you killed Carrie Fisher, so I can't make a Star Wars illusion. I will actually briefly bring up you, my darling, and how this series that so did for a while respect female characters decided that it hated female characters somewhere in between season 2 and 3. No, you did fine. Like, I will never take down a series that anybody likes. I just know that's what killed that. Was that it decided, hey, remember that really, really strong female character that you had? No!
She's weak and pathetic now.
She's weak now! Otahime, another example of that, who went from actively fighting and punching out monsters to, no, it's okay, I'll just stay here. Yeah. Peace!
I'm out.
Just death drop into oblivion. There are ways to be passive though, and there are women that sure will be a little submissive, will be mousy, will take the back seat, jam herself. Oh, sorry. There are characters that will do that, and that's okay. They cannot be the spotlight though. It is utterly insufferable. I survived too many years of I'm just a normal average teenage girl, and then suddenly I ended up. I'm like, no, hold on, sweetie, hold on there. No one just falls down in magic wells nonsense. She was really high.
There was never any proof.
Yeah, she was really baked.
I don't know if baked would be it. Probably just a lot of acid.
Whatever she was on. Absinthe, opium,
All of it.
weird mushroom creatures.
Yeah.
I don't know. But, like, I never understood that. Like, I grew up, I'm harping on Inuyasha because he got me an Inuyasha book. That was your fault. This is your fault. I asked him to get me the book.
She screeched at me.
I yelled at him to get me the book, and now I'm blaming him. Classic internet feminism.
You gave me the thing I asked for. How dare you?
Yep, there we go. There's Tumblr in a nutshell. Also on point. You don't just fall into a well of nonsense. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. And then immediately go around touching things and expect good things to happen to you. That's how you get eaten by lions. And then the only female characters that were active participants in their role are harlots or literally die, like Kagura, Kikyo, or Sango. Sango lives, fun fact. But, like, what kind of existence is that, really? Cool? Yay. Good start, so. I never understood this idea that a woman cannot have a flaw at all. Or on the flip side, as I mentioned yesterday, so flawed that they cannot function. I think that's why I don't like shows like Broad City, where it's like, you're just a garbage person. Woman or not, like, I would still hate you if you were a guy. Like, there's no middle ground between, I literally quit everything that I do. Every step I take grows new flowers. Or, I'm so toxic and so abusive that, like, children cry before me, birds fall out of the sky, elderly people go ahead and just complete their life cycle and die, knowing that that is a better existence than being in my presence. You either get Eve or you get Lilith. Zero middle ground. If you don't know the story of Lilith, I will tell it to you. Do you not? So, so kids.
You don't like this one. You don't like this
You're gonna like this one. So, who was Adam's wife in the Bible? Wrong. That's the second wife.
Oh, yeah.
God first made Adam and Lilith at the same time. Boom, people.
I like this story though.
I told you like this one.
Father, I like this one.
I knew it was your flavor.
It was.
Makes two people at the same time. Equals. Adam's cool with it. Lilith's cool. She's real hot. Lilith is like, hey, so, Adam, when we're doing, like, missionary with the lights off, maybe we can, like, try something new? She proposes to be on top. Adam, so offended, says, God, she wants to ride me. And God is like, hold my purse. God then says, I hate cowgirl, and reverse cowgirl, and Lotus, and a bunch of other positions. Banishes Lilith from Eden. And then Lilith is like, nah fam, I hear about this banishment. I'm gonna sell my soul, become the mother of demons, and like make a living stealing like sexual fluids, energy, and babies for the rest of eternity. And I'm gonna live in a bomb-ass like cave with owls and dragons, and like I'm gonna have like cool bird feet so I can like take babies from their cribs. Nah fam, that's how I'm gonna live. Peace. Then out. And that is the story of Lilith.
And if you want to watch it, it's called Lilith's Court.
No, don't watch that one. Just read the Kabbalah. Just read the Hebrew version of Bible. Don't.
I prefer watching it.
I just acted it out for you. It's gonna go on YouTube.
All right.
So that's the story of Lilith. Also, why we get lullabies is that they were songs originally made to make Lilith go away. They were called Lily Twos at first. And then over years we got the lullaby to keep the bird. So that's how we get, lullabies, is to keep the sex bird harpy creature out of your kid's bedroom. Your mind is so blown.
Like low key though, for real.
Like, are you low key shook?
Fuck yeah.
I told somebody who was like 40 years old that story, and they grew up in like a strict Catholic family.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Where the fuck was that?"
I would have certainly paid attention if it was like, "Hey God, I don't want reverse cowgirl. Let me pull my earrings." So that's the story of Lilith. Fun fact, fun tangent. This is what happens when I have small crowds. I get to tell fun stories like that. You get to hear me do a dramatic interpretation of the story of Lilith, which I think is worth it.
That was really
That was
awesome.
awesome. That was
Thank you. Next year, it's just going to be stories from the Bible.
The Bible, real talk.
Actually, I've read all the forbidden books of the Bible, so I can tell stories. Perfection is vastly overrated. Also, being a garbage human being is being a garbage human being. Don't just claim, oh, because she's a woman, it's okay that she's a bitch. Not a feminist word. Still gonna say it.
Because you gotta still strive for perfection.
No, you don't. At all.
Strive for perfection.
Good. You will never achieve it.
I know I won't, but I can at least get as close as I can.
Why? Is that fun for you?
Yeah.
I mean, fair.
OCD.
Okay.
As long as I understand that I'm always going to be disappointed, it's not disappointing.
Yeah, no, I'm a hedonist. I rather have fun and enjoy
Expected
myself. Yeah. I mean, what did I say in the parking lot? It was live slow, die whenever.
Die whatever.
Live slow, die whenever. I don't know.
Sure.
Sure. It's like, I've come for you. Alright.
Is there snacks?
Yeah. No, I'll 100% be an Emily Dickinson, like, Amanda, I have come for you. Oh, okay, cool. You got Cheetos in there? You got the fluffy
An exact reenactment of how I will die.
Death as a handsome gentleman caller, but he has hot Cheetos? I'm down. I'm down. Let's go,
Hot
yeah.
Cheetos and Dr. Pepper.
Doubling Dr. Pepper. The Waco kind in the bottles. So we're in conclusion, and we ran a little fast, which I'm fine with, because that means that we get to have a conversation. This is barely scratching the surface on what this topic is, because as a true feminist dialogue, it never ends. It never ends. You should have these conversations constantly, all the time, everywhere, in your day-to-day life, on the internet, on the bus, at work, with yourself. Because I know I've had to overcome years of anime misogyny. I've literally had to reprogram my brain to not hate female characters as much as I used to, as I'm emulating a male character doing a writing female characters panel. Those tapes don't get corrected overnight. And in this era of media that is always trying to push an agenda on you, which is always, like, this didn't start last year, media has always been trying to push an agenda, but we have to be extra critical of what's in front of us. So, you guys have recommended reading. I did not forget, I'll put all those things on the internet tonight. So you guys have some recommended reading from me. I will move my giant bust and fat head. I will move my enormous bust and large head. A feminist book collective?
We can invite Oprah.
She won't listen to us.
But we can still invite her. She's the thought that counts.
She's too busy nursing Wendy Williams back from nearly dying.
What even happened to Wendy?
Oh my
What even happened to Wendy?
All I saw was the gifs of her, like, and it's the mashup
Of
of,
like death snatching her?
Well, no, because, like, all the things that I've seen, it's like, why does Wendy Williams look like she's having a goddamn vision? And somebody edited it so she's actually,
that's
like,
so
going
rough.
through the raven.
Because it happened on live TV. Like, she had a mild heat stroke and passed out.
Or something.
And, like, it looked like death reached up and grabbed her. It was scary. And, like, I hate that, like, people made it a meme because, like,
It's a
we
good
thought
meme.
we were going to lose Wendy.
Like, I'm glad she lived, but, like, that's a good-ass meme. Because it
It is.
edits perfectly into, like, the raven vision phase.
I mean, it's a dank meme. But like, at whose expense?
See, like, I didn't even know the real thing. I really just thought.
See, that's the problem. That's the problem. Like, I
At
didn't
first, I
happen.
didn't know it was real. I thought Wendy was just like. doing
Nah,
the
man, Wendy
thing,
was like on the ground.
I thought Wendy was just talking shit about
Nah,
somebody,
fam.
made a weird face, they edited it into a GIF, and then like somebody's like, "Yeah, Wendy Williams straight up like died on television." You know?
Yeah, nah, fam. Like Wendy, like went down. It was rough. So, I will personally say, if I'm allowed to have feminist propaganda moment, start with this one. Yes. All of my feminist papers that I had to write, because I actually took like critical theory courses. A lot of my my retelling of sort of Lilith. That one is my favorite. All of them are good. There's none of these that are bad, but the Women's Encyclopedia of Myths and Secrets, you want to really not like people for a while. And not just men. Like, I won't say that, like, you're going to leave, you're going to hate men. No. You're going to hate everyone. Time check?
Or something. 40.
Cool. Ask me questions. Chat. They'll be butts.
They do.
Breasts are actually developed as a representation of women's breasts.
Yeah, so was a drinking glass.
Hey! True. Go team.
Go trivia.
Titties shaping the world. One nipple at a time.
Thanks, Marie Antoinette, for having small titties. So I can get drunk in the middle of the day. Ask me things. Really, boys? You're going to walk into a writing female characters panel and ask nothing.
I'm a follower today.
I noticed that you mentioned like OtakuFair and
I did.
and other weak
Was
stereotypical females, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And you are averse to having them even like, could I say mention? Could I say that? But
Sure.
it seems to be like an integral part of our society that with gender roles and other stereotypia, such as Lilith,
Mm-hmm.
like any woman that ever walked well, stands out to a man is a certain whatever way is seen as Pikachu. So my question is, do you look forward to like authors, young authors, male and female, like minorities, majorities, whatever, when they're creating female characters to go ahead and craft them from a really original place rather than stereotypes? Is that something that you would have before? Obviously, because like a little bit, it's almost like something.
Yeah. No, so very interesting question. Here's my take on it. I think you should write per your story. And again, there are some stories that do require weaker characters. There are some stories that require stronger characters. If anything, to me now, the trope of the hyper-actualized woman is to me just as oppressive as the woman who can't do anything. Shameless plug. I did a blog post a little while ago about like the weird feminism of Disney. And that I actually really struggle with Disney feminism. I was like, I want to climb every mountain. I'm like, nah, fam. I just want to get married and like have a guy that buys me cake. Yes.
Would you feel like Pocahontas was a good example?
No.
Hell no.
Why not?
Throw yourself in front of a complete stranger so your father doesn't kill him, and then he takes your fucking land?
They were
No.
both at that point.
So
Horrible example.
I'm going to be very, very careful because full disclosure, that's his favorite movie. So I'm going to be very, very careful with how I say this. It's that exact same problem of the woman who, her little friend, that I don't remember her name, sorry, who's like, yeah, no, I like sturdy houses and stability and walls and staying close to home where my family is. No, you're bad. Have ambitions. Climb mountains. Parkour off waterfalls. You are not a woman until you fall to your death. You're not a lady enough. Parkour!
Okay. Alright.
That frustrates me because I would love to get married one day and live in a stable, sturdy house with a stable, sturdy husband. Far away from my family, though. Very far from my family. But that decision is mine. It is not because society is telling me that I need to do that, or because one particular man is telling me to do that. It's because that's what I want. That's all that feminism is choice. If your choice is to go parkour off waterfalls, fine. Don't judge me for that not being mine. So no, I can't stand Disney feminism. It absolutely wears me like utter wrong way.
So sorry. It's like going off the deep end. You advertise that they should shoot for a middle course rather than she was like Laura Croft, which fall into that, you know.
Choose that course that's right for you. I mean,
He's actually saying basically it's not a choice.
Okay.
thank you.
But if anybody does want to parkour off waterfalls, I'm down.
No,
Just
that's
wear a
how
helmet.
that's how you
please.
die.
Well, I know you don't want.
Wear a helmet. That's all I ask.
Thank you. Middle path.
Safety
No.
first.
My point is, if that is your decision, cool. Respect that it's not mine. And that's the problem with Disney feminism, that there's one way to be a Disney feminist, is fuck men, I hate them, but that one's okay. That bothers me. I think that's a harmful message. Princess and the Frog has that problem a little bit, where you have a woman who is so self-actualized that it's so inauthentic when she's like, oh, this one's I. It's like, you were so cut off from men up until like you're in the swamps. What is this turn? Where is this coming from? Who is holding Tiana captive?
It's
The
convoluted, okay?
frog that she could have stepped on.
You know what?
Terrible.
I don't like how you reach that conclusion, but I'll allow it. I don't like
The answer is always Stockholm Syndrome. That's the thing.
I don't
Disney
like how
movies-
you got there, but you aren't entirely incorrect. The thing that was holding her hostage is oppressive, like, just patriarchy and racism that they ignored in that movie. I'm not going to talk about that. Don't have enough time for that. Don't have enough time to talk about the convenient lack of racism in Princess and the Frog. That's a whole different panel.
I think it's really interesting because it's a very choice version of racism because there's
Yes.
still that classism that they have going
Yes.
on there. But she has a cute little white best friend.
Yes.
And yeah,
Who's
who's rich.
And
she
whose
doesn't-
dad is really supportive.
Yeah, and like her family does not work for their family.